Hello, Goodwill youth and families. I have some really exciting news. We will be starting youth group online. Woohoo! So for our study, we will be going through the book of Philippians. I thought it was very appropriate in the times that we're facing, and we're all in quarantine because the Apostle Paul was in prison and, well, he wrote this book. And so here he is writing a book to encourage the church of Philippians while he himself is imprisoned. So, with that, his book is one of encouragement. And so we thought it was appropriate for us to walk through some of the pages of the book of Philippians and see what he has to say while he himself was isolated and yet had encouraging words to pass on to everybody else. Chapter 1, he talks about the very fact that God has begun a good work in them and that he was not done yet and he would complete that work. And that work would only be finally completed upon the day of Jesus' return. So in other words, there was the component of Paul wanting them to stay focused on their heavenly citizenship as well. So no matter where we are and what's going on here on the present of where we live on earth, there is a heavenly focus for each and every single one of us. This was also a church, these people were very dear to Paul, and he makes sure that he says that and tells them that in his book. He found it great joy knowing that they were all sharing on this faith journey and walking in the same grace of God that he was. He was also very excited, very joyful that the gospel was still being preached. And so even though he was in prison, the believers were still speaking and teaching and preaching the word. He himself, although was in prison and isolated, still had a voice, even if it was only through writing. And I don't think for any such reason that the Apostle Paul had any idea how far his letter would go and to all the people that it would speak to as we read this letter, and it still speaks to even us today. I'm very thankful for our church and all they're doing and taking great steps to stay in connection with all of us. Love the worship services and the Bible studies that they're continuing to put out on a regular basis to help us all stay connected as a church. And as much as we really love watching it online, there's the component of us that really misses being there and being in person with one another. And the Apostle Paul says in chapter 1, verse 8, he says, "For God is my witness, how I yearn for you with all the affection of Christ Jesus." I can honestly say, after 3 weeks of being home and everybody staying home, those words ring truer today in my life than ever before. As much as I love the online communication, there's just that part of me that really misses seeing everybody. And I think that's the general consensus for most of us, that we really miss seeing each other. So with that being said, I'm super excited that we will begin to meet for youth group. On Wednesday nights, we will be meeting for high school at 7 p.m. So our high schoolers will meet at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night, starting tomorrow, April 1st. And then next week on Tuesday nights, we will begin meeting our middle schoolers, and that will be April 7th. So just so you guys know, we are really looking forward to meeting for youth group on online communication. Not the same as meeting you all in person, but this will work for now. So with that, details will be following on the page. I will put down all the details of how to log in and how to get us started. So hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.